This morning, there's a lot of people talking about the Childish Gambino video. Childish Gambino, also aka Donald Glover, and the video is called "This Is America." And I'm watching the video this morning, and I looking at people, seeing what they're saying on Twitter about it, etc., etc., etc. And the video is violent. It has two really violent scenes, gun violent scenes, and it's like the violence comes out of nowhere. And the next thing you know, immediately he moves on. Like he's committing the acts of violence. You should see the video. So he commits an act of violence, he kills someone, and he immediately moves on, starts dancing like nothing ever happened. Then he moves into shooting a choir, a whole gospel choir, and he keeps going like nothing happens. And it's just a video, right? It's a music video, and I really didn't have anything to say about it till I read a whole bunch of takes on Twitter, because it was just on my timeline. Everywhere I looked, it was on my timeline, and I realized that granted, you can take whatever you want. It's a piece of art, so people are going to take different interpretations. There's probably no one way to interpret it, and such as that's how it goes with pieces of art. But one thing nobody was saying was that it's the fact that America, what makes us America, is not just the gun violence itself, but it's the speed with which we move past gun violence. You're gonna hear a baby crying in the background. My wife is getting ready to pass by. She's taking him for a walk. So anyway, it's the speed that we move past gun violence, and it is shocking. It catches you off guard. Like we have a mass shooting one day, and the next day we've moved on. The most that we've ever seen any type of real consideration or emphasis on a particular act of violence over a long period of time. Pause, because they're coming by me. There's Jeremiah. Say hi, Jeremiah. He was just screaming. Say hello. Jada, say hello to the people.
Hello.
We can't see you. Got to turn this way. Say hello to the people.
Hello.
All right. So anyway, the longest time that we took to consider an act of gun violence in recent years was Parkland. And that's because the youth took it upon themselves to make it a national issue that they were not going to allow to just disappear and for us to move past so quickly. But outside of that, we move on from gun. Look at Waffle House shooting that was just 2 weeks ago. We've moved on past that. It's gone. It's moved on. And the biggest thing about gun violence that takes me is that it happens so frequently that we have a new class of famous people who are famous because they survived the shootings. I mean, and this is not any slight towards them at all. You know what I mean? Not whatsoever. It's a slight towards America that this happens so often. You have people, we know them by name. They're making national headlines. They're on our news. They're making changes, and it's because they are mass shooting survivors. And I guarantee you, any number of them would rather not be famous than to have gone through that and lost friends and loved ones. So I think the video, This Is America, is really a statement about America and the quickness with which we move past gun violence. That's what I think we're missing. A lot of people are analyzing it, saying, dissecting it, saying it's problematic and all these kind of things. Well, hell, I mean, America is problematic. There could be a gun. I mean, we have moved past Las Vegas. The Las Vegas shooting, 60 people killed, over 600 injured. We've moved past that. We're not even thinking about that anymore. And we just keep dancing, because that's what happens. He would shoot somebody and he'll just keep dancing. I'm like, that's what we do, especially on social media, especially on Twitter. Like we're outraged. We see it, we're outraged, we're angry, we're passionate about it, and then we just keep on moving. You know what I mean? We keep moving right past it. So I think that's what Glover, at least that's what I took from it, from Childish Gambino, is that nothing really sticks with us. We become desensitized. And I keep referencing, for if you've been with me any amount of time, I keep referencing the paper that this young woman wrote in my undergraduate program. It was called The Desensitization and Oversensitization of America, saying that, and I wish I can go back and find the paper. She probably did a thesis on it later on because it was brilliant. But it's basically saying that America, we're both are hypersensitized. We're both hypersensitive but desensitized at the same time. Like, we can see these acts of violence and we throw out all of this anger and rage and emotion, and you know, we make all these grand statements of being heartbroken and we can't possibly take it anymore. We're hypersensitive because these situations, I mean, what do you expect from these situations? But then we're also desensitized in that we can just keep on dancing. Keep on dancing right past it to the next tragedy. So that's what I think. That's what the video represents. I think it's a brilliant piece, and I think it speaks volumes about some of the things that I've been feeling. He captures it in a parody type sense, where he says, you want to see what you really look like? You look like people who can see this tragedy and keep bopping with the beat, right? Instead of turning off and saying, I saw Childish Gambino just put a bullet through somebody's head, and instead of cutting it off, the beat drops so hard that you just keep going with the beat. That's my take. So anyway, tell me what you think. Leave comments in the comment section. Talk to you later.